Welcome to Talk to Me English. My name is Daniel, and today I want to ask you something very simple, but very serious. Are you living, or are you only surviving? Each morning, you wake up, you grab your phone, you scroll, you eat, you go to work, you come back, you sleep. Days pass, weeks pass, and suddenly, years pass. And you ask yourself, where did my time go? Why am I not further in life? Why does English still feel so hard? I know that feeling because I lived it too. There was a time when I woke up tired before the day even began. I looked in the mirror and felt like a stranger. I dreamed of freedom. I dreamed of speaking confidently, of traveling, of connecting with people around the world. But in reality, I was stuck in routine, stuck in excuses, stuck in fear. And maybe, right now, you feel the same way. But let me tell you something important. Today can be different. Not tomorrow, not next week, not someday. Today. Because the secret to daily motivation is not waiting for the perfect moment. It is creating the perfect moment inside you. Every single day. And when you combine this inner fire with the habit of learning English step by step, something magical happens. You begin to change. Your mind sharpens. Your courage grows. Your world opens. So let me ask you again. Do you want more freedom in your life? Do you want to earn more money? To speak English with confidence? To travel without fear? To open doors of opportunity that right now are locked? If the answer is yes, then I want you to stay with me because in the next minutes, we are going to uncover the secret that turns tired mornings into powerful mornings, boring routines into meaningful days, and small steps into massive results. Imagine this: a boy named Leo, living in a small apartment, working long hours in a job he hates. Every day feels the same. He comes home, turns on the TV, and tells himself, I will start tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. He tries to learn English, but after 2 weeks, he quits. He tries to exercise, but after 1 week, he stops. He dreams of changing his life, but his dreams are heavy, and his motivation is light. Does this sound familiar? One night, Leo sat in his room, lights off, phone in hand, scrolling through videos that only made him feel worse. And suddenly, a question hit him, a question that felt like thunder in his heart. If I die tomorrow, will I be proud of the way I live today? The answer was no. That night, he cried, but those tears became his fire. He decided to change, not with a big impossible plan, but with one secret: daily motivation, built step by step, moment by moment. He started small. Each morning, before checking his phone, he wrote down one sentence in English, just one. Then he repeated it aloud 5 times. The next day, he wrote 2 sentences. After 1 month, he could write a short paragraph. After 3 months, he could hold a simple conversation. He was not perfect, but he was consistent. And because he was consistent, his confidence grew. At the same time, Leo made a rule every morning. He would give himself one reason to keep going. Some days, that reason was his mother, who had worked so hard for him. Some days, it was the dream of traveling to another country. Some days, it was simply the desire not to waste his life. And with each reason, he found the energy to act. This is the secret I want you to understand. Daily motivation is not about waiting for inspiration. It is about creating rituals that pull you forward even when you feel weak. And when you combine these rituals with English learning, your progress multiplies because English is not just grammar. It is your passport. It is your bridge to the world. It is the voice of your future self, calling you to rise. Think about it. Right now, millions of people are practicing English. Some will give up, but some will continue. Which group will you belong to? The ones who quit? Or the ones who fight? The ones who dream? Or the ones who do? You have to decide, and your decision starts today, not tomorrow. Leo decided, and his life changed, but not because he was lucky, or smart, or special. He changed because he finally believed one thing: his future was worth fighting for. And so is yours. Leo woke up the next morning with swollen eyes from crying, but his heart felt strangely light. For the first time in years, he felt a spark of hope. He whispered to himself, "If I can change one small thing today, maybe I can change everything tomorrow." That was his secret promise, his hidden seed. And maybe right now, you need the same promise. Because let's be honest, you have dreams too. You want to speak English with confidence, to understand movies, to connect with people, to walk into a room and not feel small. You want freedom, the freedom to travel, to earn more, to choose your own life. You want to wake up excited, not tired. You want to look back one day and say, "Yes, I lived, I gave my best." But here is the hard truth. Desire without action is nothing. You can watch motivational videos for hours. You can feel inspired for a moment. But if you don't take action, tomorrow will be the same as yesterday. You must ask yourself, what did I do today to move closer to my dream? If your answer is nothing, then you are betraying yourself. Leo understood this. That is why he started with one English sentence a day. Just one. It looked small, but it was powerful, because every sentence built a wall, and every wall built a house, and every house became a home for his new life. At first, he doubted himself. He thought, "I'm not smart enough. I'm too old. My pronunciation is terrible." But instead of giving up, he whispered another question. What if I just try? What if I just don't quit today? And so he tried again. This is the difference between people who succeed and people who fail. Not intelligence, not talent, but persistence. The ability to stand up again when your legs are weak. The ability to keep going when no one claps for you. The ability to push forward when your heart says, "Stop." I want you to imagine something. Imagine standing in front of a door. Behind that door is the life you dream of. Confidence, success, freedom, fluency. The key is in your hand, but the lock only opens if you turn it every day. One turn is not enough. 2 turns are not enough. You must keep turning, day after day, until finally one morning, the door swings open. That is daily motivation. That is the secret. Now, let's talk about you. Maybe you tried learning English before. You downloaded an app. You bought a book. You watched a few videos. But after 1 week, you stopped. Why? Because you lost motivation. Because you thought, this is too hard. Because you believed the lie that some people are born for English and some are not. But that is not true. No one is born fluent. Everyone starts from zero. Everyone feels stupid in the beginning. The difference is, some people quit, and some people don't. Leo didn't quit. He kept going. And little by little, he grew. At first, he could only introduce himself. Then, he could order food. Then, he could write a short email. And one day, he realized something amazing. He no longer feared mistakes. He no longer cared if people laughed. He just kept speaking, kept writing, kept moving. And that freedom gave him more energy than he ever imagined. And here is the real miracle. His English practice was not just about English. It was about his life. Because every time he chose to write, every time he chose to repeat a sentence, he was training his willpower. He was building a muscle of discipline. And that discipline spilled into other areas of his life. He started exercising. He started eating better. He started waking up earlier. He became stronger, not just in language, but in spirit. And you can do the same. You don't need to change everything at once. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to start, and then keep going. The secret to daily motivation is not a giant fire. It is a small flame that you protect every day. Protect it from excuses. Protect it from laziness. Protect it from fear. And over time, that small flame becomes a burning fire that nothing can destroy. So let me ask you, what is your reason? Why do you want to learn English? Why do you want to change your life? Is it for your family? For your future? For your freedom? Hold that reason in your heart, because when the days are hard, and they will be, that reason will keep you alive. Remember this: people who fail look for excuses. People who succeed look for reasons. Which one will you be? Leo chose his reason. He told himself, I don't want my children to live the same life I lived. I want to give them more. And that reason became his fuel. Every time he felt lazy, he remembered his children. Every time he wanted to quit, he remembered their faces. And so he kept moving. And because he kept moving, his life changed. Your life can change too, but only if you decide. Not next week, not next year. Today, because the secret to daily motivation is not waiting for energy. It is deciding that your dream is worth more than your excuses. Leo's journey was not smooth. It never is. After the first month of writing sentences in English, he felt excited, but by the second month, the excitement began to fade. He started waking up tired again. He began asking himself, why am I doing this? What if I never become fluent? What if I'm wasting my time? And maybe you know that feeling too. At first, learning English feels exciting. You imagine yourself speaking fluently, traveling, watching movies without subtitles. But then reality comes. The grammar feels hard. The words don't stick. Your pronunciation sounds strange. And suddenly, you want to give up? That's the wall every learner faces. The invisible wall that separates those who quit from those who succeed. The wall is not outside. It is inside. It is built from fear, doubt, laziness, and excuses. And only one thing can break that wall: daily motivation. Not once, not twice, but every single day. Leo realized something important. He did not need to be perfect. He only needed to be present. He told himself, even if I learn one word today, I will not quit. And so he kept going. Some days, he learned 10 words. Some days, only 1. But he never allowed himself to stop completely. One night, after a long day at work, Leo sat at his desk, exhausted. His body screamed for rest. His mind begged for escape. He wanted to watch TV, to scroll his phone, to forget everything. But then he remembered his promise: 1 sentence a day. So he picked up his notebook, wrote one simple line, I will not give up, and closed the book. That night, he smiled, not because he had learned something big, but because he had kept his word. That is the real secret. Success is not about massive victories. Success is about keeping small promises to yourself, day after day. Because when you keep those promises, you build trust. And when you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. Now let me speak directly to you. How many promises have you broken to yourself? How many times have you said, I will start tomorrow? And then tomorrow never came? Every broken promise weakens you. Every broken promise makes you doubt your own strength. But the moment you start keeping those promises, even the small ones, you rise. Leo started to rise. His friends noticed. His coworkers noticed. People asked, why are you so different? Why do you have so much energy? And Leo smiled, because he knew the truth. It was not magic. It was daily motivation. It was 1 sentence at a time, 1 decision at a time, 1 promise at a time. But here's the challenge. Motivation is like a muscle. If you don't train it, it gets weak. If you train it every day, it gets strong. Leo trained his motivation by making it a habit. Each morning, he would say out loud, "I will learn today. I will grow today. I will not waste today." And even when he didn't feel like it, those words pulled him forward. And here is something you must understand. Feelings are not the key. Decisions are. If you wait until you feel motivated, you will wait forever. But if you decide, no matter how you feel, then your feelings will follow your actions. That is the power of daily motivation. Think about your own life. How many mornings have you woken up tired, without energy, without hope? And how many times did you let that feeling control your day? What if, instead, you had stood up, washed your face, and told yourself, "No matter how I feel, I will do my one small step today"? Imagine where you would be right now if you had done that for the past year. Leo imagined it, and then he lived it, slowly. His English improved, slowly. His confidence grew, and slowly. His life began to change. He applied for a new job that required English. At first, he was afraid. He thought, "They will laugh at me. They will reject me." But he remembered his rule: keep the promise. He applied. And to his surprise, they accepted him, not because his English was perfect, but because they saw his determination. That was the moment Leo realized something powerful. Your progress in English is not just about English. It is about your character. It shows if you are the kind of person who quits or the kind who fights. Employers, friends, strangers, they don't just see your words. They see your courage. They see your discipline. They see your fire. And that fire is built daily, not in one big moment, but in small choices that seem invisible. But one day, those invisible choices shine like the sun. Leo's story is not only his story, it is your story too. Because inside you, there is a stronger version waiting to rise. A version that does not quit. A version that does not hide. A version that says, "I will fight for my dream, no matter how long it takes." And I want you to imagine that version of yourself right now. Close your eyes for a moment. See yourself speaking English with confidence. See yourself traveling. See yourself standing tall. No longer afraid. Feel the freedom, the pride, the power. That version of you is real. But it is waiting for one thing: your decision today. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Today. Because the secret to daily motivation is to live as if today is your only chance. And maybe it is. Maybe tomorrow will never come. So why waste the gift you have right now? Time is running. You feel it, don't you? Every day passes like a drop of water falling into the ocean. Gone forever. Impossible to take back. And while you wait for the right moment, your dreams are quietly dying. This is the truth most people don't want to face. You do not have unlimited time. Leo realized this one morning as he looked at the calendar. A whole year had passed since he started his journey. He asked himself, if I had quit 6 months ago, where would I be now? The answer was clear. He would be exactly where he started. Tired, frustrated, lost. But because he did not quit, because he kept his fire alive, he had changed. His English was better. His life was better. And most of all, his spirit was stronger. But the question is, what about you? Where will you be 1 year from today? Will you be in the same place, telling the same excuses, living the same tired story? Or will you be further, stronger, freer, finally proud of the person you see in the mirror? The answer depends on the choices you make today. You don't get a second life. You don't get a second chance at time. Every morning, time takes something from you, your energy, your youth, your opportunities. And you cannot buy it back. The only way to honor your time is to use it. The only way to respect your life is to fight for it. Do you understand what this means? It means you must wake up now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because the life you dream of is slipping through your hands. And unless you hold it tight, unless you fight for it daily, it will disappear. Leo fought, but not with weapons, not with violence. He fought with persistence. He fought with discipline. He fought with his refusal to quit. Every time he wanted to stop, he whispered to himself, "Not today. Today, I fight." And maybe that is exactly what you need to tell yourself right now. Say it with me, not today. Today I fight. Today I learn. Today I grow. Today I'm brief to waste my life. Because let me tell you something. Life does not reward the comfortable. Life rewards the courageous. Comfort will kill your dreams. Fear will freeze your steps. But courage will move mountains. Courage will open doors. Courage will transform your world. And where does courage come from? From daily action. From choosing to keep moving when everything inside you screams to stop. That is how courage is built. That is how champions are made. Imagine this scene. Leo is sitting in a job interview, his hands shaking, his English not perfect, his heart racing. The manager asks him a question in English. For a second, his mind goes blank. He could run. He could quit. But instead, he takes a breath, remembers his training, and answers with the words he knows. Not perfect, not beautiful, but honest. And that was enough. He got the job. Why? Because the manager didn't just see words. He saw determination. He saw someone who refused to quit. He saw fire. And that fire is more powerful than grammar. That fire is more powerful than mistakes. That fire is the difference between the forgotten and the remembered. Do you want to be remembered? Do you want your life to matter? Then you must find that fire inside you and protect it with everything you have. Because the world will try to put it out. People will laugh at you. They will doubt you. They will tell you it's impossible. But you cannot let their voices be louder than your dream. Leo didn't. When his friends mocked his strange accent, he smiled and kept practicing. When his coworkers told him, "You'll never learn," he whispered, "Watch me." And when his own mind said, "This is too hard," he answered, "I will not stop." That is the attitude you need. Not perfection, not endless talent, just the refusal to stop, just the decision to fight. And now, I want you to imagine this. Imagine standing in front of a mirror 1 year from today. Who do you see? Do you see the same tired face? Or do you see a warrior? Someone who fought daily for their dream. That person is waiting for you. But only if you start now. Because the truth is, you don't have forever. Life is short. Opportunities vanish. Time is merciless. And you have two choices. Waste it or use it. Which will you choose? Say it again with me. Not today. Today I fight. Today I learn. Today I grow. So now you understand, motivation is not a mystery. It is not magic. It is a decision. But a decision without action is like a seed without water. It dies before it grows. If you truly want to change, if you truly want to learn English faster, you need more than inspiration. You need a plan. Leo discovered this the hard way. At first, he depended only on emotion. Some days he felt strong. Some days he felt weak. His progress went up and down like a roller coaster. But then he created a system, a simple, daily system that made success automatic. Here's what he did. First, he chose a time every morning that was only for learning. Just 15 minutes. No phone, no distractions, no excuses. That small time became sacred. It was his daily appointment with his dream. Second, he kept a notebook where he wrote his progress. One word, one sentence, one thought every day. By the end of the month, the notebook was full, and every page was proof. I did not quit. That notebook became his evidence of growth, his mirror of discipline. Third, he connected his learning with his life. He didn't just study random grammar rules. He learned words he could use immediately, in conversations, in emails, in work. That way, English became part of his daily reality, not just a subject in a book. And fourth, he created small victories. Each time he finished a lesson, he celebrated, sometimes with a smile, sometimes with a walk, sometimes with a small reward. Why? Because celebration creates joy, and joy is fuel. Without joy, learning feels like punishment. With joy, learning feels like freedom. These 4 steps became Leo's foundation. And here's the truth. You can do the same. You don't need expensive courses. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need years of free time. You just need consistency, clarity, and courage. Let's make it practical for Step 1. Choose your time. Morning, afternoon, night, it doesn't matter. But once you choose, protect it. Guard it like treasure. Step 2. Write something every day. A word, a phrase, a short reflection. Let your notebook become your story of growth. Step 3. Connect English with your life. Watch a video you enjoy. Write a message to a friend. Order food in English. Make it real. Step 4. Celebrate. Every small step counts. Smile. Breathe. Feel proud. Because progress is not only about the result, it's about honoring the process. Now let me ask you, what excuse is stopping you right now? Are you too busy? Too tired? Too afraid? Understand this. Your excuse is lying to you. You're not too busy. You're not too tired. You're not too old. You are only too afraid to begin. But fear disappears when you act. Fear melts when you move. Leo's fear melted because he kept moving. Slowly, English became less of a struggle and more of a rhythm. He began thinking in English when walking to work. He started writing his dreams in English before bed. And soon, English was not just something he studied. It was something he lived. This is where daily motivation becomes powerful. When you connect your motivation with real action, you create momentum. And momentum is unstoppable. It's like pushing a heavy rock. At first, it feels impossible. But once the rock begins to roll, it moves faster and faster. That's what will happen to you if you commit today. I want you to pause and imagine this momentum in your life. Imagine waking up each day with energy. Imagine finishing small goals and feeling proud. Imagine your friends noticing your confidence. Imagine speaking English without fear, your words flowing like water. That is possible. Not in 10 years, not in 5 years, but starting today. And here's the secret. Motivation grows when you share it. Leo found a friend who also wanted to learn English. They sent each other one new word every day. Sometimes they laughed at their mistakes. Sometimes they competed. But together, they grew faster. So find someone, a friend, a classmate, a stranger online. Share your journey. Because when you walk with someone, the road feels shorter. And if you don't have someone, let this channel be your companion. Every story, every lesson, every word you hear here is a step with you on this journey. You are not alone. You are never alone. But remember, at the end of the day, no one else can do the work for you. You can have teachers, friends, videos, tools, but only you can wake up and choose. Only you can take that pen, write that word, speak that sentence. No one else. And that is good news, because it means the power is already in your hands. Think about it right now. You could stop this video, take a notebook, and write one sentence. One. And that one sentence could be the beginning of your new life. The question is, will you do it? Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for the perfect time. The perfect time will never come. The only time you have is now. And the only way to honor that time is to act. So let me repeat the steps for you clearly. Choose your time. Write your progress. Connect English with your life. And celebrate Every victory. 4 steps. Simple, powerful, life-changing. And when you feel tired, when you feel lazy, when you feel like quitting, whisper these words. Not today. Today, I fight. One evening, after many months of quiet work, Leo walked into a cafe. It was crowded, full of voices, laughter, and the smell of coffee. At the counter, he heard a tourist struggling to order. Without thinking, Leo stepped forward and spoke in English. The words came slowly, not perfectly, but they came. The tourist smiled in relief. The barista looked surprised. Leo stood taller. In that small moment, he realized something powerful. I can do this. I am no longer the same man I was. It was not about coffee. It was not about the tourist. It was about identity. For the first time, Leo saw himself not as a beginner, not as a failure, but as someone capable, and that feeling was priceless. Maybe you've been waiting for that moment too. The day when your English flows, when people look at you differently, when you finally feel proud instead of ashamed. That moment will come. But it will only come if you keep going long enough to see it. Most people quit right before their breakthrough. Don't let that be you. Leo's breakthrough didn't happen by chance. It happened because he built the habit of showing up every day. He didn't win one big battle. He won 1,000 small battles. He faced mornings of doubt, nights of exhaustion, and endless temptations to quit. But he kept his promise, one step each day. And those small steps carried him to this moment of freedom. The people around him began to notice. His coworkers asked him to help with English emails. His boss invited him to join meetings with international clients. His friends laughed less and respected more. Even his family, who once doubted him, looked at him with new eyes. Do you see what happened? His English was not perfect, but his courage was. And courage is magnetic. When you show courage, the world responds. Opportunities appear. Doors open. People respect you. Because deep inside, everyone admires someone who refuses to quit. One night, Leo sat in his room again, the same room where he once cried in the dark. But this time, he wasn't broken. He was alive. He opened his notebook, flipped through the pages, and saw hundreds of sentences, hundreds of small victories. Tears filled his eyes, not of sadness, but of gratitude. He whispered, "Thank you, past Leo, for not giving up. Thank you for fighting when no one believed in me. Thank you for saving my future. And maybe one day, your future self will say the same words to you." Imagine it, 10 months from now, a year from now. You open your notebook, your phone, your memories, and you see progress you never thought possible. You hear yourself speaking with confidence. You realize your dream is no longer a dream. It is your reality. And in that moment, you will thank yourself for starting today. But here is something important. Leo's breakthrough didn't mean the journey was over. No, the journey never ends. Motivation is not a mountain you climb once. It is a river you must cross every day. Some days, the river is calm. Some days, it is violent. But every day, you must step into the water. That is the nature of growth. That is the nature of success. So don't believe the lie that one victory is enough. Don't think, "I spoke English once, now I am done." No, you must keep building, keep pushing, keep fighting, because the world is always changing, and so must you. Leo understood this. After his cafe moment, he didn't stop. He created bigger challenges. He joined an online class. He practiced speaking with strangers. He wrote journal entries in English every night. Each new challenge was scary, but each challenge made him stronger. This is the secret of growth. When you succeed, don't stop. Use success as fuel to aim higher. Celebrate. Yes, be proud. Yes, but then ask, what's next? Because if you stop moving, your fire will die. But if you keep moving, your fire will grow until it lights up your whole life. And let me tell you something. People will notice your fire. Some will admire you. Some will envy you. Some will even try to put you down. But remember, their opinions do not define your worth. Your daily actions define your worth. Your courage defines your worth. Your persistence defines your worth. Leo was once invisible. Now, he was visible. Not because he shouted, not because he was perfect, but because he transformed. And transformation cannot be hidden. It shines. It speaks louder than words. And I want to remind you, you are capable of the same transformation. You have the same fire inside you. You have the same choice in front of you. The only question is, will you light the fire or let it die? Imagine again your own breakthrough moment. Maybe it will happen in a cafe, maybe in a classroom, maybe at work, maybe when you travel. One day, without warning, you will realize, I can do this. I am no longer the same. That moment will be your reward. That moment will be your victory. And when it comes, you will understand the power of daily motivation, but only if you don't quit. Leo's story teaches us something bigger than language. Yes, he learned English. Yes, he became confident. But the deeper lesson is this. The habits you build today will shape the person you become tomorrow. Merely. Daily motivation is not just about words. It is about who you are becoming. Think about it. Every time you wake up and choose action instead of excuses, you're rewriting your identity. You are no longer the person who quits easily. You are the person who keeps promises. You are no longer the person who fears mistakes. You are the person who grows through them. This shift is more powerful than any grammar book, because once you change your identity, your life follows. Leo once believed he was weak. He believed he was a failure. But when he proved to himself that he could keep going, even for one sentence a day, he rewrote his story. And once he rewrote his story, his actions changed. Once his actions changed, his results changed. That is the true power of daily motivation. It doesn't just give you skills, it gives you a new life. And this truth applies everywhere, to health, to work, to relationships. Do you want a stronger body? Daily motivation will get you moving when you want to stay in bed. Do you want better relationships? Daily motivation will help you communicate with love when it feels easier to stay silent. Do you want financial freedom? Daily motivation will guide you to save, invest, and create. Even when fear whispers in your ear, the formula is always the same: daily action, daily persistence, daily courage. That is the secret that transforms everything. But here's something important. You will always be tempted to forget. The world is full of distractions. Social media, entertainment, gossip, fear. They steal your focus. They steal your time. They steal your energy. And before you know it, another year is gone. That is why you need rituals. Daily reminders that pull you back to your purpose. Leo had his rituals. Each morning, he read one motivational quote. Each morning, he spoke one affirmation. I am learning. I am growing. I am free. And each night, he reflected on what he had done, no matter how small. These rituals kept him steady when the world tried to pull him away. What about you? What rituals will you build? Maybe you write your goals on the wall. Maybe you keep a notebook on your desk. Maybe you watch one video every morning that reminds you of your dream. Whatever it is, make it yours. Make it sacred. Make it non-negotiable. Because here's the truth. Discipline beats motivation. Motivation is the spark. Discipline is the firewood. Without discipline, the spark dies. With discipline, the spark becomes a flame that can burn for years. So do not rely only on feeling motivated. Build the discipline of showing up even when you don't feel like it. That is where transformation happens. And let me tell you this, you don't need to be extraordinary. You don't need to be the smartest, the richest, the most talented. You just need to be consistent. Ordinary people who are consistent achieve more than extraordinary people who quit. This is why Leo won, not because he was special, but because he was consistent. And so can you. But let me challenge you right now. Don't just listen. Don't just feel inspired. Take action. Right after this video, I want you to write one sentence in English, just one, and then tomorrow, another. Keep it simple, keep it real, and watch how small steps become big victories, because this is how life works. Small things, done daily, become great things. Drops of water, falling every day, carved through stone, steps taken every day, no matter how small. Climb the highest mountain, words spoken every day, no matter how imperfect. Create fluency, and choices made every day, no matter how ordinary. Create destiny. Leo's destiny changed. He once saw himself as a man without power. Now, he sees himself as a man who creates his future. And you, too, have that power. But only if you decide today. So let me ask you, who do you want to become? Not just what you want to do, but who you want to be. Do you want to be the person who says, I could have, I should have, but I didn't? Or do you want to be the person who says, I did it, I fought, I became who I was meant to be? The choice is yours. But remember, time is not waiting. Life is not waiting. Your dream is not waiting. Every day you delay, your dream dies a little more. But every day you act, your dream grows stronger. And one day, when you look back, you will see the difference. You will see the version of yourself who refused to quit. You will see the victories, the lessons, the growth, and you will smile because you will know you lived. That is the real secret to daily motivation. It is not about chasing energy. It is about creating meaning. It is about remembering why you're alive. It is about living every day as if it matters, because it does. So here we are, standing at the end of Leo's journey, but really, at the beginning of yours. His story was not about luck. It was not about genius. It was about daily choices. The choice to write one sentence. The choice to whisper one affirmation. The choice to stand up when everything told him to sit down. And those choices, repeated day after day, became his transformation. The question now is simple. What will you choose? Will you let another day pass? Another week slip away? Another year vanish into excuses? Or will you stand up today, right now, and declare, this is my time. This is my fight. This is my life. Because the truth is, no one will hand you motivation. No one will knock on your door and say, here is your dream. You must take it. You must fight for it. You must decide that your excuses are no longer welcome, that your fear is no longer in control, that your future is worth more than your comfort. And if you truly believe that, then you must act today. Write one sentence, speak one word, do one thing, because small actions create big results. Do not underestimate the power of simple steps. A river begins with a single drop. A mountain is climbed with a single step. A life is transformed with a single decision. Leo once asked himself, if I die tomorrow, will I be proud of how I lived today? And that question became his fuel. So I ask you now, if tomorrow never comes, will you be proud of today? Or will you regret what you didn't do? The words you didn't speak, the dreams you didn't chase? Life is not a rehearsal. This is it. One life, one chance, one you. Don't waste it. Don't wait. Don't hide. Fight. Fight for your dream. Fight for your freedom. Fight for the life that is waiting for you on the other side of fear. Because here's the truth. Your excuses don't want you to hear. You're capable. You're stronger than you think. You are smarter than you believe. You are braver than you feel. And if you give yourself 1 year of daily action, 1 year of daily motivation, 1 year of refusing to quit, you will not even recognize the person you become. So let this be the moment you decide. Let this be the day you say, not today. Today I fight. Today I learn. Today I grow. Say it out loud. Feel it in your chest. Believe it in your soul. Because once you declare it, once you decide it, the world cannot stop you. And when the hard days come, and they will, remember Leo. Remember his tears in the dark. Remember his notebook full of small victories. Remember his courage when his friends doubted him, when his coworkers laughed, when his own mind tried to betray him. He fought anyway. And because he fought, he won. Your victory is waiting too, but only if you fight. And so I leave you with this. Dreams don't care about excuses. They don't care about how tired you are, how busy you are, how afraid you are. Dreams only care about results. And the only way to get results is to act daily, persistently, relentlessly. That is the secret to daily motivation. That is the secret to learning English faster. That is the secret to living fully. So now, take a deep breath. Look at your notebook. Write your first sentence. Whisper your first affirmation. Take your first step. And tomorrow, do it again, and again, and again. Until one day, without even noticing, you have built the life you once thought impossible. This is your time. This is your fight. This is your story. Live it. Live it. And if this message has touched you, if you feel the fire burning inside, then stay with us. Subscribe to this channel, because here we don't just teach English. We build lives. We turn frustration into progress. We turn fear into courage. We turn ordinary people into extraordinary warriors of their own destiny. So subscribe now, and don't miss the next story that could change your life. And until then, remember, motivation is not given. It is created. Create it today. Live it today. Be it today. Your future self is waiting. Don't keep them waiting any longer.